everything about you. Everything about you.
Alright, so I'm still new to this whole vlogging thing, but today I find myself in Dallas. Hopefully have some fun here and make some new friends.
So I've got Carl here. I picked him up from the airport, and now it's day 2. We went to Dan's studio a little bit yesterday and recorded some stuff. Now it's Saturday morning at about 10 to 8. We're headed to go to Dan's studio to do some more shooting. Carl's here from Fly with the Guys. Talk about your channel.
Talk about my... Hold on. I need to talk to my camera first. I'm here with my Uber driver. He was like 45 minutes late picking me up from the airport. I don't even know why I called him this morning. Alright, let's talk about what I'm doing in Dallas. Dan Milliken from the YouTube channel Taking Off invited me to be interviewed on his series, In the Hangar. It's a great series that does short interviews with different people in aviation. It was a ton of fun, and I actually got to meet some great people and other aviation YouTubers you may be familiar with. Brian from Wolf of Corn, who shares videos on flying in Southern California. Brian from the Experimental Aircraft channel, who obviously makes videos on experimental aircraft. And the last Brian from Just Plain Silly, who you've already met. He makes aviation satire videos and has been reported to the FSDO twice. I also met Josh Flowers of Aviation 101, who I actually ended up doing my segment with. The last segment I was in included all the aviation YouTubers for a fun discussion about ourselves, aviation, and being on YouTube. After which, we all went out to dinner for stories and a good time.
Stop watching. Just go to my channel, subscribe. I'm sure that's on everyone's channel. Leave. Don't watch this channel anymore. He's saturated. Go to my channel.
I'm recording this for you.
Oh, welcome to my channel.
And his channel, youtube.com/taking off. That's Bryan Turner's channel.
That's Bryan Turner.
I don't need to tell anybody about my channel because they already know about it.
Yeah, taking Bryan's channel taking on.
Taking on.
Taking on.
The next morning I went for a breakfast run with 2 out of the 3 Bryans and a German named Martin. In this shot, we're all recording the intros for each one of our channels before we go on the flight. Now Martin has a YouTube channel named Martin Polly and makes videos of flying his beautiful Bonanza around, which we're flying in today.
What's going on? 2 Bryans in the back seat.
On the flight over to breakfast, I got to sit up front with Martin. It was a different perspective flying in Texas because everything is so flat and I learned to fly around mountains.
So Carl, how's the horizon look to you? I don't know what to pitch for visually.
You want to fly it?
Sure.
Go your plane.
My plane?
Take us,
Oh, that wasn't part of the agreement.
Flying the Bonanza was a lot of fun, and it's the fastest plane I've flown yet. When I first took the controls, I felt like I was struggling just a little bit.
I feel like I'm chasing the plane already.
I keep hearing whispers.
He's back here going, no, Carl's flying the plane.
All too quickly, the flight was over and we had arrived at breakfast. The taxi to the restaurant was interesting too, because the taxiway was shared with the roadway. Brian from Just Plain Silly told us that sometimes drivers believe that they have the right-of-way and would flash their lights at planes so they'd move out of the way. But this guy we passed, he knew what was up. So breakfast was at the Beacon Cafe in Fort Worth, Texas, and it had some of the best food I've ever had at an airport. We all ate until we were stuffed and had a great time talking airplane. When we were walking back to the plane, we realized it had started to rain, so Martin quickly filed an IFR flight plan for our return. I decided to sit back on the way and to enjoy the weather. I really enjoyed flying through the clouds, and this almost made me want to get my instrument rating, which Brian from Just Plain Silly happens to be working on, so he was really excited to sit up front with Martin. Once we got back on the ground, there were a few more shenanigans as we are shown how a true Cirrus pilot gets to the FBO. Guys, my trip to Dallas was remarkable, and I'm super excited I've been able to be a part of it. And I have to thank every one of you for your views and subscriptions because you're the reason I was able to go. Now, the trip for breakfast included 3 other YouTubers, and each one of them made a video of the trip. So I encourage you to check out their channels from the links provided, and go ahead and throw them a like and hit the subscribe button for them if you like what you see. As always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one.